Hey everybody, Rodamon here. Thanks for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included episode 37. Picking up where we left off, I am still working on the upgraded power grid, but I want to justify the project to you all. But before that, I also wanted to say that our newest duplicant is now Storbeck. So welcome Storbeck to the colony. So to justify the project, yes, what does this mean? Why do we need to be able to generate more power? Don't we have enough, right? That's a totally legitimate question to ask. So, I'll tell you. A lot of you said that you want to see a nice recreation room where I utilize a lot of the recreation objects, like a jukebox, which requires about a kilowatt of power, or an arcade cabinet, 1.2 kilowatts of power, or a vertical wind tunnel, 1.2 kilowatts of power. I think you see where this is going. A lot of the recreation items, the high tier ones that provide morale, require an absolutely stupid amount of electricity in order to operate. I have no problem with this. The issue that I have is more the fact that I currently don't produce that kind of power. I mean, at full tilt, I can produce 1600 kilowatts, or 1.6 kilowatts out of my hydrogen generators without them being tuned up. Maybe let's call it about round 2K at max. I basically max out around 2K, right? Any more than 2 kilowatts being pulled from the power grid, and essentially I draw down my batteries, I deplete my hydrogen reserves, and my entire colony has a rolling blackout. And if I even put one of these, like a jukebox or an arcade cabinet, it would serve to greatly deplete my power reserves, right? It just would, you know. There are some things that are a little bit less power intensive, but even the espresso machine at half a kilowatt, mechanical surfboard at half a kilowatt, soda fountain at half a kilowatt. Again, I think you see the pattern here, and this is exactly why, if I want to have these nice things, I have to pay for them in advance. Or, lest I be punished and run out of power entirely, and that would be a bad situation for everybody. Alright, so with that said, one tip, one little suggestion that I got from Xanth. Xanth mentioned something funny. He wanted to see the Gravitas facility fill up from this geyser. I think that's a pretty funny thing to do. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go dig. Do I have... No, I don't have a valid path there. I'm going to go dig at the Gravitas facility and unleash this geyser upon the Gravitas. And yeah, just laugh as the Gravitas facility fills up. Yep. Okay, that should be enough. Cool. The other one is from Crash M, I suppose. This is not necessarily something I'm going to use. Well, no, let's use it. Use to demonstrate. I am going to deconstruct these Weezwarts. Because I would like to implement Crash M's idea of a mechanical door in order to, quote-unquote, turn off Weezwarts. I rather like this idea, so I'm going to utilize it. I don't know why I didn't use it before. Let's just say that I wasn't thinking. Alright, we have a surface breach. The surface breach is in the Gravitas. It's not a big deal, because, you know, I planned on it. But, alright, there it is. Here's the full facility. I think I've inspected everything here. It just gives you a little bit of lore of the Gravitas facility there. But without derailing what I'm currently working on, let's get back to my giant, ridiculously, unnecessarily large power grid thing project stuff. Third object discovered. Oh yeah, well I kind of knew it was there, but sure, let's go with I just discovered that. Another thing I would like to do, let me collapse these resources, is tap into this over here. I believe this was the hydrogen. Yep, that is the hydrogen vent. That is going to be a ridiculously long run to try to get back to the base, but having two things of hydrogen would be quite useful, right? Right now, when my hydrogen geyser is dormant, my hydrogen runs down. Now, if I do have two hydrogen, geysers tapped, I will have to run considerable automation to make sure that I don't overdraw from those geysers, so that I don't have like hydrogen leaks or whatever. But you know, there's other things to do. There's other high-tech things that I'm not actually all that great at, like turning the hydrogen from like a gas to a liquid or whatever. I mean, I guess you could even bring it down to a solid, but that's way more difficult than it's worth, in my opinion. But yeah, with that said, we'll definitely want to tap some of these new geysers. There was, what was down here? This was what, water? Or natural gas? I forget. Full steam vent. All right, that was water. Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of resource exploitation that I can utilize, that I'd like to utilize. And I'm still... that's not a geyser, it's just neutronium. I'm still sort of searching the map to find the pockets of stuff. As a little reminder here, of course, if I zoom on out, there's a pocket here, and then there's sort of this left edge that isn't perfectly searched. I suppose one could even make the argument that I haven't really searched here either. I was planning on it. So I'm going to do two things. One part is going to be power grid expansion, etc. And the other one is just going to be exploration. I want to reveal all the map. Why? Because. Do I really need a reason? Because knowledge is power, and I want power. Also, there might be really important geysers that I've missed. Like if I have another natural gas geyser. I have had playthroughs where like I had 3 natural gas geysers, and oh my god, supplying power from my colony was so easy because I just had an overabundance of, oh, what's this? Chlorine gas. Oh, okay, that was not as exciting as I was hoping it for it to be. Chlorine gas is kind of... We're kind of done with chlorine gas. I mean, I don't really need more than I currently have. Look at all these sticker bombs. Yeah, you keep stickering everything. Heart's content. All right, let's another complaint, or not complaint, but another suggestion I've seen time and time again is the fact that my current water filtration is probably, and I'll grant you this, not good enough. Yeah, totally. I support you. I agree. Having manual water filtration. The thing is, take it from my perspective. I have deep-seated PTSD of getting germs in my water supply and then having an enormous project to try to figure out how to fix that. It's not fun. I can tell you, it is not fun. So that's why I've been so ridiculously careful about my water filtration, because all it really takes is one mistake, and it will really set you back. All right, you are 8, 7, and 5. Okay. So that's why I've been extraordinarily careful, almost to a point of neurotic levels of care. But this is only because I really do not want germs in my giant Olympic-sized swimming pool of water. It would be devastating. So other projects that you've also mentioned is like Tame a Volcano. I do plan on that once I'm done with this power grid. All of these projects, other than the exploration, I plan on doing post-power grid. Alright, so as you can see, this little tunnel here, I probably don't even need to go up that high. Anything outside of this abyssalite layer is just going to be space. I mean, you can literally see the space behind it. Looks like, yes, okay, there is back for this here. Okay. So this cool steam vent is going to start passively filling up this gravitas facility just for fun. I mean, it also gives me a source of water if I want it, but it's mostly just for fun. So if I wanted to utilize this hydrogen, and I do, I very much do, because that would be part of the power grid expansion project, I would say. It might be nice to have a sane run. I mean, this is going to be a big project, but a sane run to get over there. God, there's just so much stuff in the way. Yeah, maybe I won't do that. It is definitely more effort than it's worth. So I'll just run a twisty pipe, I guess. All the way over there. So we are going to... I don't really need to insulate it all that well. Ooh, there must be roe in the water. Yeah, there it is. You can see these pokies are pissed. So yeah, we're gonna tap this pronto, and then I'll like wall it in, and then run the ventilation for it. I don't really need to insulate it. So we do have natural gas coming down here, so I'm going to run it maybe about here. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to store the hydrogen yet. Oh, you know what? This is all sandstone. Oh, they're already building it, though. Alright, whatever. I'll just convert it over to, like, granite now, or igneous. It doesn't really matter. I only didn't want sandstone because it was likely not a locally sourceable building material. Okay. And new printables. Iron. Iron. Now, we'll not deny that yet another, if I got another duplicate, that would be pretty useful. I agree with that. But for now, I'm just going to worry about, worry about the task at hand. Oh, what is going on here? Oh, I have that built backwards. No, it's not. No liquid intake. You don't... There, that's your liquid intake. Now, I had mentioned that I would set this liquid pump up to intake anything. I guess so I could do that. Let me slow down time, though. So for that, we could use liquid shutoffs to filter. And, oh man, if we're doing that, I might as well do it like really properly. Dang, yeah, okay. So we are going to make sure that the output here, if it's regular water, it can go straight to the reservoir. And then if it's polluted water, it needs to go to the sieve. Oh man, this is going to get complicated. I can clean it up a little bit by doing this. To move these sinks input. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a mess, but it should be done. I shouldn't treat all water like it's the same, because it's not. Okay, so now that I have a fake liquid intake, my desalinator is actually working. All it needed is like a pretend intake. Which I know is kind of weird. Do we have... I haven't really seen it emit salt. Maybe it just hasn't processed enough to emit a batch. But I was curious, have we crushed table salt? I guess it looks like we have. Here, let me check my resources to see if we have table salt. What would it be? I forget where it's... Well, here, I could just click on my tables to check. Yep. There's table salt. You can see all the table salt sitting on the tables. Alright, cool. As you can see, the duplicants gain +1 morale when there's table salt at their mess table. It's another, just a little morale boost. Not a very important one, but if I have a desalinator running and I have a considerable amount of salt... Where is my salt? Let's see. I'm getting off track here. Alright, so I'm actually out of table salt. But I'll crank out a few more batches. I have 18 tons of salt, so I don't think my duplicants would be the saltiest dupes in the world if they used all that. Let's hope they don't. That's not healthy. Alright, well here's the geyser, and we are definitely going to analyze that. I'll analyze it at 6, that's fine. Let's see about exploration. So the eastern edge is almost fully explored down to a certain depth. This is pretty unnecessary because there's really not an ability for there to be hidden anything here, but I'm going to dig it anyway. Call it me being stubborn. If you need justification, I just want to get that little uncharted spot charted. What are we waiting on for lime? Okay, yep, that's not surprising. I haven't really been focused on lime. And the Crash M suggestion. So let's do that. I would need mechanical locks. I don't care what they're made out of, but rotate them sideways like this. Right? Let's put a mechanical lock here and a mechanical lock here. We can stick the heavy watt to them. Oh, yeah, they're gonna be... Oh, that's a pain in my butt. Alright, never mind, don't do that. Let's grab these conductive wires instead. It's because, you know, mechanical locks are like a block and heavy watt wires are block. Are they low enough? No, they're not even low enough. Ugh. Do I really want to do this? Okay, I'm doing it, but it requires a little bit of an annoying redesign. Alright, so the power instead is going to run up like this for the steam so that I can open up space at the bottom. Alright, that should be enough to refill there. And back to my original project where we have made shockingly little progress. Because I get habitually sidetracked. So, I'm just going to say that this edge here is as far to the right as we're going to go. And I'm going to dig in here and I'm going to combine... I can even leave that intact. I'm going to combine all these liquids and then pump them out from one unified bottom. Alright, so the priority of this area is going to be 7. It's a little bit more important to do so I can get the water out of the way. Speaking of water, all of my everything is roughly desalinated. Cool. Let's just keep letting that filter. What temperature is that coming out? Oh, it's fine. I was just curious what the temperature of the salt water was. I don't know what's greater, if this pool steam vent is giving more water or if I'm taking more water. It's hard to tell because I have to measure. I guess right now it's what, 500, about 500 kilograms up. All right, I'll try to remember that. God knows I'm not going to, but I'll try to remember that so I can gauge whether or not I'm gaining or losing. For me to dig that out, I will need a ladder here for access. So I'll put that as a 7. Nope, and here is that geyser trying to drown the gravitas building for funsies. Again, for fun. Just a joke. Xanth suggested it. I thought it'd be funny, so I'm doing it. Yep, that's literally sometimes all the reasons I need for anything. Okay, so we've explored this here. There's a pocket here that, I guess what I could do is just go like that. And go up a little bit too. And I'll find that. This is space, so I'm not that worried about... You know, I don't have spacesuits yet, so I don't really want to get out to space just yet. Okay, so the power is almost rerouted. I just need to do it here. Alright, and this is also going to garner a 7. So I'm setting up a way to make sure that my oil does not freeze like it did before. That was a real pain in the butt. I didn't want my oil to freeze, and yet it froze. I kind of drowned out this area here. But I'm going to design it in a way that it does not require my attention anymore. If done right. Skill point earned. Storeback. Storeback, you are going to get improved carrying level 2. Everyone basically gets exosuit wearing. Without exosuit wearing, you move around in your exosuit ridiculously slow. Definitely exosuit wearing is important for all your dupes. I'm sure you've all noticed that by now, that I exosuit for all of them. I mean, if you look at the skills here. Exo, 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 and then working towards exo. Yep. And while they work towards exo, they're on the treadmill of humility. Yep, that's just the way we run. Just the way we work. Man, that is a big patch of chlorine. It's not dense, but I'm just surprised that there's that much chlorine in a space like there. Right, let's see. I am going to leak some of this water into this cold biome, only so that I might explore some more. Sometimes there's really no hidden value to exploration. Like, you don't end up finding anything significant. Sometimes there is. It's hard to tell until you do it, right? I did find 2 anti-entropy already and a whole bunch of geysers during this exploration project, so I would say, to some degree or another, it has paid off. Let's give these 7s... Oop, I guess 8. Let's give these 8s to make sure that we... And I'll sweep up this. Okay. Sweepy is still... Well, he's trying. He's trying. And then I just have an enormous amount of stuff here, right? Just a giant amount of stuff. Okay. So now that this is done, I can knock all this out and reclaim this spot for my liquid pump to properly work. Or rather, for me to add on all the filtration. I think I'm going to get rid of the switch. I don't really need it. I do want this pump on all the time. What network would be better for it? And the network above it is even better. So let's switch the network it is connected to. Voila. Alright, we got some additional printables. And I guess eggs. We'll just try to clean this whole area up a bit. Make it make more sense. Okay, we are just about filled up here. Building attunement. You got it, boss. Boy, is that ever a lot of water. So, did the power cables down here... Okay, they got moved. Great. So, what we're going to do here is set up mechanical airlocks. I'm going to set one up here and one here. We need to then power them on. This is going to be a little awkward, but we're going to have conductive wire bridges down from the ceiling. Oh boy, so ugly. I love it. We can make these... Did I make them out of lead? No, I did not make them out of lead. Let's get rid of them and make them lead. Obviously, this area here is never going to get hot. We're literally designing it to stay cold, so lead is fine. Then let's plug them in. And then we are going to put planter boxes on them, like that. And then we're going to have a thermosensor. I guess I could put it here, somewhere in the middle. Automation wires. Oh, does that lead too? Yeah, that's iron. Okay, hold on. I got a lead. Thank you. You know, I'll have 2 thermal sensors. Might as well. I don't need to, but I'm going to have 2 anyway. So we'll put one in this corner, one in this corner. And wire them up. And what they're going to do, these thermosensors, is they're going to test the temperature of the air. And if the air needs to be cooled, they'll keep the door will close and the Weezeworts will grow, or you know, whatever, cool. And then if I don't want it to be cold, the doors will open, and because the planter boxes then will be built on quote-unquote nothing, because their doors are opened, the Weezeworts will stop. It's a way to automate Weezeworts so that they're on or off using logic, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. All right, I think what I'm going to do down here is cool this down there more than cool this here. So we'll get these built as well. Because the hydrogen down here is quite hot. It's actually maybe too hot for the Weezeworts to even manage, but I'll try. And then the stuff up here is like not that cold. Oh, but you know what? This is let's turn this pump back on. 4,000. Because my hydrogen has been drawn down. And this is another thing that I could probably automate, right? This pump to... Eventually, these gas reservoirs are going to be moved up to the unified power grid. Okay, I have not been doing you justice, Bryce. I am sorry. Yep. I suck. I'm the worst. I totally didn't notice that Bryce had marooned herself to nowhere. Right, Sweepy Dock does get very, very slimy because the Sweepy is cleaning up slimed stuff. Alright, so that's the last puddle that we're going to have to deal with. I guess I'm not even going to go up this high. This will be the ceiling. That's a pretty that's a pretty healthy amount of space for you know, whatever I'm trying to do, I think. Next up, get a power transformer. And I'm going to not finish the power transformer line just so that I can turn it on when I want it on. Oh. Wait. Is this stuff germy? Oh, maybe it's not even enough water to register or something. I don't know why this is cycling. I'm going to pause for a moment. What is going on? Contents of water. Why is it failing the germ check? It says 1 germ? Because I had this open, right? But it was failing the germ check. See, it passes through. It says current germs 1, but it is not filtering. It's not... Nah, alright, whatever. It will get filtered in the next batch. I don't know. I don't know. That's strange. I don't know what to say. Alrighty. So, the liquid shutoff. Let's do this. So, we are going to have a bunch of shutoffs. So, the first shutoff will be a pass-through test for salt water. So we are going to do liquid pipe element sensor. So something like this, or this pipe here. Actually, let's disable this pump while I'm redesigning this system. That was weird. Hello, yes. I would like to destroy you. Okay, so my sewer system still works. So the first test here is going to be for salt water, just because my desalinator is right here, might as well. And then if salt water, go. If not, don't go. The next test here will be for brine. So I guess what I need here is bridges. And if not brine, run a different test. And we'll let them get that built. How's my exploration going? Obviously haven't been... Okay, we dug all the way out here. It's going well. And my Weezewort. Alright, let's finish this. One thing at a time, right? Finish this up. So I can set it up correctly. Alright, there's the automation line. And the thermosensor. Alright, so if the temperature is above, below... Okay, so if it's below 20, below 0 Celsius, close, I guess is what I'll do. So we'll basically bring this hydrogen down to freezing, but no lower. But here's how it works, right? You set a temperature, so like if below 20, which it is, open door, Weezeworts, get disabled. But obviously I want them enabled. I could technically bring the temperature down to whatever the freezing temperature said. The freezing temperature is like negative 40 of oil, so I'll set these to negative 20 Celsius. Get it close, or even negative 30. Get it close, but not too close that I risk the oil's temperature. And there you have it. Remote-controlled Weezeworts. Yep, strange as it is. But thanks, Crash M, for that idea. It's a useful one. Alright, and now back to what I was working on. So this obviously is just going to keep filling with hydrogen until I box it up, but whatever. I don't care if it's outgassing. It's out of the base. It's not a problem. So now back here, we've got to plop some automation wires here. And then you are sensing salt water. And you are sensing brine. I'm also going to need to plug these bad boys in. Let's drop power in from the top. And then once they have that set up, I also want to sense for polluted water. This one could be the polluted water one. It's gonna look a little messy, but like I don't care. It's gonna look how it looks, right? New printables. Weezewort. Building tidy cooking, upping supplying. Okay, Weezewort. I scan real quick. Sorry about that. If you really want to take a good look, I guess you can pause. Alright, so then element sensor. What have we been making these sensors out of? Copper? Let's replace them. I have so much lead, I might as well use lead, right? And then, if this is indeed polluted water, pass through to the sieve. And then if it's not polluted water, do one last test. I know this is a crazy, ugly maze of a monstrosity. Alright, this is the test for pure water. And then if it's not any of those, I don't know what it is, and it's going right back into the liquid vent. Strange, yes I know. That way, if it's like not something I'm sensing, if it's not something I'm testing for, it doesn't end up in my water supply, because that would be bad. Oh, that's unreachable? Yes, it is. It is unreachable. Let's put a floor there. And we need automation wires. And then we need the sensors made of lead. Nothing like having lead sensors in your water supply. End up like flint. Yeah, to focus on that probably next. Which means sixing. I'm also going to obviously need to run power all the way out here too, because the gas pump's going to need power. And I additionally have not a clue of where I actually want to put my hydrogen tanks. I haven't thought that through, guys. I just haven't thought that through. Probably at the top here, actually, because the hydrogen hypothetically will be pretty hot, and I want to keep it away from the living area of my base as much as I can. Alright, and then the rest of this needs to get plugged in. So you are sensing for saltwater. You are sensing for brine. Now, nothing should get in here that is not something I'm currently filtering for. But let's say it does. You know, I don't want to go into my water supply. And then you are sensing for just water. All of it ends up in my liquid reservoir to get de-germed. So I don't really care if it's germy. I just care about its, you know, other properties. So I will openly admit this is hideous. And maybe I rework both this and this at some point in the future. But it's functional. It's just hideous. The real question is, do I care about its hideousness? No, I don't really. And to be honest, really everything, all the liquids that are getting input into my base probably should pass through this logic test. And that way, I don't even have to be careful about what I pump to the base. I could just pump any sort of water-based liquid, and it's fine. But I haven't set that up either. And I probably won't. But now that that's done, I can say, in here we can drop brine and saltwater. Because I've had brine and saltwater bottles in my base for a long, long time now. And let me slow down time and watch the logic here. I wanna see it for myself. Oh, yeah, except for the pump is disabled. So let me enable the pump. Because soon we're gonna get a wash with brine. And then I can actually watch it work. Thank you, Magenta Fairy. Or, nope. Thank you, Angelia. Alright, so here, we've got... Oh, perfect. We've got some regular water and some salt water. The salt water passes the saltwater test. The regular water fails. The regular water fails the... Well, once there's enough of it. Do I not? Oh, I don't have a pipe here. Or do I not? No, I do. Why is it failing here? Maybe I put space too much. Oh, this is upside down. See, that's why you need to test these things. Alright, plumbing. Liquid shutoff. Because I'm an idiot. Hey, you. I know you're very, very happy that you fixed that problem, but can you just make it... No, that wasn't it. It wasn't upside down. What's going on here? Oh, okay. I just needed to paint the lines. So then... Wait, is this... Saltwater? Okay, so... Because I backed up, it sent some saltwater. And here, again, another reason why we had our pipes back up, and this saltwater needs to go back into the loop as a result. So what is all this saltwater? This should be testing for saltwater, right? This is saltwater. Why is it failing the saltwater test? I don't know where I went wrong here. And here's brine passing the brine test. Right? There's... And that goes to the desalinator. I mean, it's working, but we have some salt water that's just simply... I think it's because of these shutoffs here. Oh, yeah, okay, I know why. It's because the desalinator can only intake so much water at once. So if I really wanted this to work properly, I'm going to need some sort of buffer. Like a... like a liquid reservoir for the desalinator. That's what's going on. So what's happening here, let me disable this, is there's only so much salt water that can go into the desalinator at once, and I'm throwing too much salt water at it. Because it does it in batches, and it's not very fast. Have you turned this off yet? Okay, you have. Good. So now, after this last batch, I can fix this. So now, these pipes are going to lead to the reservoir, which will then lead back to the desalinator as a buffer. Let's build that. Hey, it just got uglier. Guys, if you thought it was already too ugly, I just made it uglier. Alright, so I actually, crazy enough, how am I almost out of time? Jeez Louise, this went fast. Is there some sort of time dilation device that I don't know about? What is happening? Alright, well, what is that? Oxygen? That's fine. I will, I'll finish this project, and then I guess I'm calling it quits for this episode. I feel like I was super productive, but I have no idea what I did. And now we are, what, pulling in polluted? Yeah, we're pulling polluted water. Okay, so now we can get this back on, and then let's watch it run proper again. Come on, someone flick it. And you are always starving, aren't you? I am so terrible to you. Alright, so now let's watch. And I am keeping brine and salt water in the same container, but that's just because we're treating them the same. And the buffer works. And now I don't get weird backup problems. It's beautiful. Here, I'll even speed it up. Choo-choo. So, yes, it is a big mess of shutoffs. And it's in sequence, not parallel, but like, hey, you know, it works. And now we can... Those stupid bottles of brine that have been sitting here, these 6 tons of brine that have been sitting here, I can finally do something with. Which is... Oh, and here's, you can see the result. Oh, yes. Alright, well that's enough staring at liquid passing through pipes. If you have any suggestions for me, let me know, because I'm happy to take on projects. Now, right now, my main project is obviously unifying the power grid and setting up something that can actually support the space science and support recreation rooms and support all that stuff. Next episode, I'm definitely going to conquer this geyser here. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to want that hydrogen. And then I'm going to probably... finally put down gas reservoirs to store a ridiculous amount of both hydrogen and natural gas so that I might have big supplies of power when I need it. I'll probably also try to finish up exploring, and that's probably going to be functionally what I get to do next episode. But if you do have suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I hope you enjoyed this episode, which was about, I guess, advanced water filtration, exploration, and Weezewort automation. And I will catch y'all next episode. Farewell, everybody.